Hi guys, how are you doing? So tomorrow, instead like today, it's NFP. So NFP is non-farm payroll. Why it's known as NFP? Because it doesn't include the farming industry. So we would be going through all of the data, some specific news out there, and how things are looking according to the tariffs and everything. So it would be a really important stream, guys. And as you know, how the things work right here in the stream, that we go through every data first on the macroeconomic side, and then we actually like look at the charts, because it's really important to know the back end of the story. So we can see right here that on Friday 7th we would be having euro data that is coming, that is in the form of a German factory orders, and as well as there's the pound data that is coming out. So although it's like not on the major side, but we can see right here that it shows the change in the prices of the homes financed. So it's the housing data that is coming out. Then we have a French trade balance. So you need to understand that the trade balance right now is something that we should actually focus on, because as you know that the tariffs wars has been going on, and literally the Warren Buffett has also said that this tariff war, it's like a real thing. It's like a real war. So we can actually like see that how important this tariff war is. And the trade balance actually is the difference between the exports and imports. And then we have like a foreign currency reserves, and it's the total value of the foreign currency held by the SNB, that is the Swiss National Bank or something like that. So then we have like an ECB, Economic Central Bank. President speaks, and then we just move forward towards that. We have an employment change. Final employment change is like really important, because it's a final, and then revised GDP. Guys, just give me a sec. There's some issue in the stream. Just a sec, guys. I don't understand. There's like an error that is being shown right now. Just a sec. So let's see now how things actually look. So what was I was specifically talking about this final employment change that shows the number of people employed and change in the number of employed people. So actually greater than is better for forecast. So it's right here almost around about the same, and then revised GDP quarterly, that is an inflation adjusted value of all goods, and it makes sense. And then we move forward specifically to this 8:30 a.m. that is the New York Times Standard Eastern Standard Time right here. We can simply see that the Canadian dollar employment change. So it's similarly right here the number of people employed. So number of people employed during the previous month, we can see that right here in February we can see it was like 90k, and in actual the forecasted one was like really less, so it came better than the forecast. And so it's a good number that shows that the economy is running well, that they have employed that many people, so make a good sense right here. So most probably I believe that again it would be much better than the forecasted value. You can see that the forecasted values are like super small right here, and similarly right here, and the data is always coming bigger. There's only like on in November we just saw that the data was like negative. So anyway, I believe that the data would be data can be positive, guys, because uh, it has been like that. So later on we can even research more on that at your personal level. So unemployment rate is the percentage of total workforce that is unemployed and actively seeking employment during the previous month. So it's like a number of unemployed people around about like same or according to the forecasted one, and then we have an average hourly earning. So average hourly earning is the change in the prices businesses pay for labor. So it's like a labor price that is considered as like a wage. So the this is an earliest data that indicates that related to the labor inflation, and it is a leading indicator of consumer inflation. When the businesses pay more for the labor, the higher costs are usually passed on the consumer. So it means that if the consumers are able to pay more for the businesses and the employees are earning more, that shows that 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 specific country is really doing better. So you can see right here the average hourly earning is getting a little bit on the lower side in the forecasted value, but here you see right here we do have like this forecasted value around about the same. So each time the number varies around like zero point 0.4 to 0.5. So most probably like we would be having the same hourly earning and non-farm employment change, most important data. So that shows that how change in the number of people employed during the previous month, one of the most important data. And it's the same thing that actually the job creation is an important leading indicator for consumer spending, which account for the major overall economic activities. And we can see that then the more people are employed in the forecasted value. And last time it was 143k, and the forecasted is 159 right now. But remember that it is much lower than the previous value, so you have to be aware of that as well. And then unemployment rate, the percentage of total workforce that is unemployed and actively seeking the employment, and it's around about the same. And then we have like different speaks right here, and then Fed Chairman Powell speaks. This would be at around 12:30. Really important to specifically consider that. And then we have a Trump speaks right here, and similarly it's really important as well. So now let's actually Just a sec, guys. I need to. Actually, I'm using a new software for the trading. Sorry, for the streaming, so it's a bit confusing for me as well. I need to like get familiar with some of the things. Just a sec. So this is what actually is happening, and I really want to show you something else as well. It would be a good sense of understanding when we're gonna like look at it. It would make you enough sense. We need to like look all around specifically for the data that is being announced. So right now when we see the Chinese yuan news that came out, you can see right here that their imports are super less right here, and their exports are really good, and their imports are super less. Like, see, this was 1%, 1%, and all of a sudden, like -8% for the Chinese yuan import, and that's why their trade balance is right now good, and it's quite like astonishing for me right now. Secondly, this is what I want to show, like on the March 7th, Friday. Really important stuff that we have Canadian dollar unemployment rate. We have discussed all that. I was just looking something special for you guys that. So this is the data that I was actually looking at. That this is like really something that we would be getting along with that actually not shown in the other website. So this is all that, and it doesn't mention any speaks for the Trump, but there is a Trump speaks as well at 1:30 p.m. So be aware of that. And what I really want to show you something right here. So you can see right here that export of the China grew by 2.3% year on year, and at USD 539.94 billion, and secondly, like below market forecast of 5% rise. So there it's a 5% rise following a 10% growth in December 24th 2024. So it's a increase. And right here you see it says about that the China's trade surplus surged 170.52 billion in the same period early year, surpassing the expectation of 142.4 billion due to the fall in imports. So thus you need to actually, what I'm just like pointing out right now, that you need to understand that the trade tariff issue is going on right now, and that would be a heck of a problem, if we actually we need to actually know these stuff. And I believe that most of the traders just skip everything out there and just like jump in shots looking at the charts and all that stuff. That matters a lot. I believe that it's really important, but at least we should know that what we are dealing with, right? So now we need to actually see that uh, so Trump is like putting a bit of a relief for the tariffs, and on the other hand, the Mexican president also agreed, and they would be stopping the fentanyl and all that stuff that he wants. And then there's a there's a preview that actually came here from the Forex.com. Really important. Uh, it's just a journal analysis which we have done right now. So mm, let's see something more fishy right here, which we can actually find. mm, so this is it's saying the same thing, the China grew. So yen future rallies high, really important. Yens are stronger, guys, as we've discussed yesterday. And yeah, so right here, so it's like simple stuff that is clear right now. The good part is we're in the clear zone right now. That's what I was actually searching, because when you would be working in a super high intensity environment, guys, it would literally like ruin your trading account. So we have to like actually seek up time period that is quite clear. So let's quickly jump into the charts. I would be going really quick with the charts because we have been discussing the same stuff every single day. So right here, just give me a sec. So right here we can see this is a DXY chart, and this is like the point where the President Trump came into the action and in the Oval Office right here, and we can see right here that the price is actually the prices were soaring around this point, and they started like giving a downtrend from this point, a little bit of it, and then this was the last push on the upper side, and then prices started going on the downside like that. So after that we continuously have the trend on the downside. On the bearish side we had this range, and this range broke out, and after the range broke out it just came back to this level around here, around 107,500 level, and after that we can see that the prices continuously went down. So what I am specifically looking at, so what I actually want to show you guys is something really cool, that this was the basically the point right here, the election day that actually happened around 2025, that actually pushed the prices on the upper side, right? And similarly now the prices are back to that level. So although as a common retailer, most retailers wouldn't be looking it like that. So this is basically the idea. Usually the analysts look like that, take the general understanding and design their trade plans or something like that. So but I understand that we need to be more specific right now, but we can't be more specific because you see right here the reaction is not happening. Until and unless the reaction is not happening, it's useless to even like think about like what we are looking at. So what we are looking at is just a general stretch around here like that. So um, anybody who would be like there could be two scenarios like that, most probably that most people would be getting out of their trades from this point. Number one, it could be like that, and number two could be, yeah, and number two could be like most people would be either waiting for a pullback around here maybe, and then prices can go down there like that. But what we can actually do currently is we can use a Fibonacci right now in order to just understand what the Mayer move is, because it's Fibonacci doesn't work like, it's not a magic wand that it would specifically produce the trade, but actually it can give us I personally use it as a measuring tool, nothing more than that. It's just a measuring tool for me. So right here if you see what is happening, yeah, right here if you see what is happening, that prices are literally pushing on the downside. So any sort of a retracement or pullback around here, even something like that, trying to create a double top around here, we can actually then expect a move on downside like that. So it's really a point of patience right now. So but the most important thing, guys, which we need to remember is tomorrow's NFP. NFP is sometimes one-sided and sometimes it. So it's really important to see that how NFP would actually react. So there could be like two scenarios right here. Let's be a little bit legit around here. Let me show you that how we can actually plan our trades in that. So this is the low of the range right here, and this is the high of the range right here. I understand it's really huge range which I've marked. So in that case, guys, if the prices go back down there and pull back up and start going up like that, so any sort of pullback, then you can actually like look into the bullish move like that. But on the other hand side, what if the prices, for example, if the prices go back, move like that and give a sudden drop like that, in that case there could be an opportunity if somebody places a pending order right here and locking in their first profits around there. This is actually what it actually looks like. So these are the two scenarios right here that I'm showing you. So let's quickly not waste our time because there are a lot of pairs further. So let's skip this. Yeah, so USD CAD right here. So what ended up happening that all of the sudden the dollar was like in a good momentum, and what ended up happening that even the dollar was pushing on the upper side, but all of the sudden dollar started getting weak, and this weakness has been portrayed in the CAD right now. But the thing is simple, that it has been portrayed as a less weak pair right now as compared to the yens and Swiss. So right here what we see that the dollar has been pumping. Dollar pumped up here, then pumped up here, formed a double top around here, failed to break around this point, gave us a downside move from this point, breaking on the downside, gave us a pullback around here. So this is the move, guys. This is like the move that actually you guys need to look for, and similarly I have to even look for that type of move. So that's like when the prices broke out of this zone around here, there was a pullback around here, prices pushed back, came in around this order block around here, and then gave us a good dump around there. So now it is seriously indicating that the 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 dollar is weak in front of CAD right now. So now we can actually look for the sell positions, and there is really important stuff that still we need to be careful. It's like a trading, and it's not even a joke. And in that case, what can happen that prices can literally go up like that. So we need to be like super careful about that. We need to use a proper risk management and proper stop loss right here. So but overall we can see that we have seen the weakness right here. The prices broke out, came down, pulled back, continuously moving on the downside. So most most clearly, like according to the simple probability, the prices can be pushed on the downside like that. So what I feel like, if it aligns with the NFP or with the good Canadian data tomorrow, which we discussed right now, so it could be a high likelihood prices can be pushed on the downside. See the difference between the Swiss and CAD right here. The movement is like, what this is what I was telling you guys, that the amount of the movement which happened in the Canadian dollar is so less as compared to the Swiss and yens. And similarly here, the dollar has been like pushing down, being pushed down, being clear out. I literally haven't seen dollar moving like that in DXY from quite a long time. So you see right here, this is the strength of a dollar, that is the which you are looking at, and all of a sudden like this kind of like change in the structures and everything. So we need to be like super careful with that, but there's a good indication that uh, NFP might be weaker like that. Guys, just give me a sec. Again, there's some issue right here. Just a sec, guys. Please bear right now. So, uh, this is like Swiss right here. We can see that Swiss has been like a stronger pair right here, and as compared to the CAD. Now let's move into the yens. So as compared to the Swiss, yens hasn't given us a big move. We can see that yens are quite strong because of course when the dollar is weak, yens are the safe haven currencies. We can see that a big pullback happened for the dollar right here, exactly coming into this order block right here, and then prices pushed on the downside again, came back, a small amount of low hanging fruit trade around here, and then prices again pushed back into uh, this resistance becoming this support becoming a resistance right here, a clear move on the downside, and again the prices are pushing on the downside like that. So most probably, guys, I personally believe that according to the structure right now, the prices can literally go on the downside like that. Even I haven't even placed my lines here yet, so this is the pair which I need to actually work on, because I was thinking that it would be much better if I actually place everything on the weekend, but let me note it down so that I would do it later on. So that's basically the idea, that the dollar is weak. So in euro, guys, so we had like the interest rates for yesterday. We had the interest rate for euro, and that was their policy rates, their interest rates. Really important data, guys, whenever it comes in an FOMC part. It really affects the market, and right now when we see in the ECB data, we can't actually figure out that why it didn't move. So there wasn't much of a move right here in euro, because it shows that euro is quite strengthful right now, and you can see it right here. The break around about happened around about maybe like 400 pips. Yeah, it reached to like around about 500, yeah, for 90 pips or something like that. So this is how things are looking in the market. NFP, NFP can be on the either side. Guys, don't rush for the NFP, because it's really important. Because if you guys are thinking that the prices would be dumping like that, just forget about it. It's not how the trading works. So we have to be aware about every single thing, and you can see that right here we do have the clear zone as well. Prices can clearly push on the upper side further like that, because in this Forex market, guys, there is no overbought, no oversold, and anything like that. So most probably the trade in the euro is not ready. Maybe it might even like move up there as well. So no, it's like an anomaly right now. So be aware of that. So right here, euro GBP in front of us, it is like a combination for pound and euro. So it really shows that each time the price is pushed back, pushed up. Here we can see that there is a small pullback and then continuation on the upper side, and then again prices came back down there. And right now prices are holding. It makes like not even a good pattern or not even a good trade around here. But we can see that there's a struggle between the euro and pound, and it seems like the prices are in the range. It means that both of the euro and the pound are in a equal strong momentum. So now euro Aussie, we have been like looking at this pair from quite a long time, and you can see right here the prices has almost extended a lot, guys, a lot. And it's like a big anomaly right here, never seen like that. And this was the high point which I was actually targeting, and we can see that how the prices actually eventually are back there without making any kind of range out there. Because if the range is formed, guys, it is better for better for a trade, because range is your friend, trend is not your friend. Range is your friend, because ranges would provide you with the opportunities. So it was a clear setup, and historically if we see that now it's a more clear setup rather than like taking it before. And really important stuff right here, that prices actually gave us a signal right here with this pin bar, and you can see that this engulfing forming that towards that. So it means that Aussie is weak. So just do remember that Aussie is weak. That's why we see this type of push. And similarly euro NZD, euro NZD has almost taken its level, and right now it's further pushing on the upper side. Similarly, it shows that New Zealand Kiwis are weak, and I can even like literally see my chart has ended right here. So it means that this is some old price action that the prices, this is some old price action that prices are actually pushing up. So I don't know, like you can see right here in the daily there are certain time frames, certain old charts around here for the March 2020. But actually guys, I want to tell you a secret, that if the pair is out of your range, so let's wait until and unless like the pair starts forming a current price action, because looking at that 2020 price action, it would be much useless and a waste of time, because you can't even like chart properly. So now this is euro CAD. As we have discussed, that CAD was weak but started gaining a current strength right here. So that's why we have gotten this double top right here, a really good signal, guys, and worth it for specifically for tomorrow's NFP as well. I would be noting it down because I'm really interested in these types of setup, because we do have like a Canadian dollar employment and unemployment rate coming, and you know, when there is NFP along with the Canadian dollar, and then US acting with that, so most probably like the CAD might take the strength. So I hope it makes sense to you guys that what I am trying to say. So EuroCAD, important setup right here. I understand that the the momentum is quite in the bullish side. Let me show you guys there. I understand that momentum is quite bullish right here. So momentum right here is quite bullish, pushing on the upper side like that, pushing on the upper side like that. But what you need to actually remember, that when the prices went up, came back down, pushed back up, came back down there, so prices actually failed. This is showing that the prices actually failed, and really a positive sign here that prices went up, came back down, tried to make a higher high around here, made a little higher high, prices couldn't even close above this point, and then we can see that this is the break on the downside. This is the first break of structure which we are looking at, and then we can see that prices try to push on the upper side like that, and now we are getting a reaction around this point. So really a early signal right now, but can be really handy for tomorrow. I would be loving to see it anyway. And then Euro JPY, we can see that yens were also strong, as I told you that yens are considered a safe haven when the dollar is like super bearish. So we can see that this whole time yens were stronger in this range. This big fight that happened, it's like super scary in a sense, but it is really helpful for the trader if he knows how to actually deal with that. So after that, you can see right from this point a breakout happened, a big breakout happened. With this big range of the candle, a breakout happened, and after that, what ended up happening, that prices went up, reaching to this last level around here, and then we can see a little bit of reaction around there on the bearish side. But this doesn't mean that yens have totally taken over. We have to like actually study it more deeply, that either the euro is getting weaker in front of yen, or either the yens are getting gaining the strength. So that's more of a understanding of different correlation that you can actually look into, with the correlation with of yens with other pairs and euro correlation with other pairs, and you can actually understand that is this a real weakness or not. But for me, this setup is something like that. So actually it would be much better, guys, that it gives us more clear setup, because this type of reversal around here, I don't feel much of solid trade around there. So I would be much preferring that if the prices come back up there and fail, and then actually make a structure like that. So I prefer these type of structures. And similarly, Euro Swiss, we can see that Swiss is strongest of all, and the idea for the Swiss to be strongest, that you can see right here that how much big the move happened. A really big move happened around about like 118 pips. This is a small move, this is a really small move that is happening. So Swiss is strongest right now. So what I told you, that euro is strongest and Swiss is strongest. So the thing is, guys, if you get a trade in a London session, so you don't even need to trade NFP. So it's only like it's better to like stay away from NFP. Anyway, this is pound. When we were discussing the pound with Aussies, we actually noticed that this is pound with Aussie has been, sorry, when we're discussing the pounds with euro pound, euro GBP. So what we actually noticed right here, that the pounds and the euro and pound started going on the sideways like that. So it was making a range. So it seems like it's a big move which pound actually took. So euro is and pound both are on the equal level right now. And similarly, we saw a little bit strength in Australian dollar right here, and then the pound actually has been great using this weakness of the Australian dollar, or maybe the weakness in the pound, but more probably like it's like a strength in the Australian dollar rather than the weakness in the pound, because the pound has been like super strong right here. So this was a weakness in the, sorry, this was the strength in the Australian dollar that pushed the prices on a little bit on the downside, and then we are actually looking at this reaction. Again, the pound is getting stronger right here. So this can actually form a good setup. What I would be doing is that I would be placing my use Zara I can do Euro USD analysis, but I've done it already. So for you, I can actually. So Euro USD analysis is like it's almost similar. There is nothing much in there. So the idea is that prices has already was bearish around here, and we can see that the dollar has started getting weak, and we can see a breakout that happened around this range. So this is the range right here in front of you, and we can see that the dollar actually broke out. Sorry, the euro actually broke out, and dollar is getting super weak. So right now, there's a clear zone up above here as well, and you might see a straight move on the upper side. This is what I currently believe for the euro, that it might extend further. So uh, I'm continuing this this old analysis which I was doing. So guys, I was just like telling you, it was somebody in the comment that asked to watch euro. So I was talking about like pound Aussie right here. So I told you guys the most important thing, that this is the strength in the Australian dollar that we actually saw, and then again it started getting weak. Really important, a good setup can form here, and I would be interested in this setup as well. And we can see it is forming around uh, there might be a little bit of extension around this whole number, like 105,500, 2.5500. So I would be placing my alert right here, so that I don't miss an opportunity like that. So similar structure right here. The the Kiwis, the New Zealand Kiwis, got quite strengthful around here, and what ended up happening, that prices pushed above, failed to break. We need to actually wait that how the prices would be reacting around upper level right here. Let's see that if the prices fail to break and form this type of structure, then we would be looking for the sells after that. We need to actually understand that whenever you are taking a reversal points, it's not based on a candlestick pattern. So usually the reversal points are based on the market structure. So usually wait for the market structure so that you can actually get a better analysis. So now pound CAD right here. So no worries, Yusuf Zara, and do subscribe by the way. And right here you can see that there's a breakout that just give me a sec, guys. So guys, this is what I'm telling you, that you can see right here, this is a breakout that happened. Price went into the range. Really a amazing setup that happened right here. And if you just see it with the peaceful eyes right here, you can see that this was the breakout. Price went into the range, and usually just remember that if the prices are in the bullish trend, and if you see a range that started forming, most probably the range would break out on the upper side. And this is what I've noticed quite a few times, and this is what we can see right here, a really amazing setup. This is known as rally base rally setup. You might have like seen in some beginner classes like that. And what end up happening now, guys, that prices have formed this support right here, really fresh support, and amazing support right here as well. So I'm quite interested in CAD pair specifically, like giving us a clean setup right here, and right here as well. Prices failed to break, but although we do have a small amount of break of structure around this range, and prices are coming down, but it would be much more preferable like if the prices break around here, then maybe in on NFP I wouldn't be able to catch it. Like if it come on the downside, I wouldn't care, I wouldn't mind, and I wouldn't even like catch it. But on the other hand, if the prices move back up and started giving me a continuation trade or something like that, so I would be like preferring to enter around here with the confirmation rather than like taking a impulsive move on the downside. So it's just like the idea for analysis, guys, it's not of any kind of like trade taking, but it's for the planning, because uh, fail to plan is plan to fail. So GBP JPY similarly, uh, really a complex structure around here, and we can see right here that prices are actually in a specific range. There was a breakout, so this bullish move actually happened with the pound, with the strength of the pound. Then again yens took over, pushed the prices on the downside, and then again the uh, the pound got strong, and you can see right here that there's a breakout that happened, and after the breakout that has happened, uh, prices pushed on the upper side, again rejected, and seems like, guys, that the weakness has been being built in this pair, specifically related to the pound. So what I believe that this can give us a clear move on the downside like that. Yeah, and this setup is almost ready to be even taken. So in that case, I would be noting it down for my own remembrance. So GBP CHF, we can see right here that Swiss has taken a control over the market, and pound is pushed on the downside really hard, although there hasn't been any kind of significant market movement. What I mean by significant, like something like that could have happened, I mean to say like double top or something like that. This is a V-shaped move, guys. Just remember, the V-shaped moves can get really risky for a retail trader to actually get into the market. So if something like that happen, it's fine, and then this range develops, this make much more sense. So rather than like having this type of move, this is like this is like something not I want to actually pursue. I trade in a different direction. So Australian dollar with USD, something really important came up in my mind, guys. You need to actually keep that thing in mind. You see right here, this is what a secret is right now, that how much more Australian dollar has gotten weak. So if we just compare it with the euro right here, it's nothing. It's nothing right here as well. And check this out. It's a clear signal that either the Australian dollar is getting really weak right now, or the dollar might take the momentum and push the prices on the downside. Similarly, AUD and ZD right here. So Australian dollar is getting weak, so we might get a, this trade can be a wonderful opportunity as well, because we can get a move like that on the downside. So but you have to like actually imagine, like for example, like in order to take this entry, you don't need to actually take it right now and price is gonna go down. This is not how things work. You have to actually, the idea is that the prices can go down there and down, even down there, right? This is what the current idea is. So in order to take that position, you can't like enter like that. You have to actually design a setup. So wait for any sort of pullback. Pullback might be happening like this, and people who would be trying to short around here might get stopped out, and then the move would be happening like that. So it's really important. Whatever I'm saying, you need to actually understand that this wouldn't be happening directly right here. So AUD CAD, there's much more weakness in Australian dollar right here. You can see the Canadian dollar has gotten quite strong as compared to the Australian dollar, and wonderful move on the downside was an easy move right here. You see something really important which I'm talking about, that we got a clear break, that prices actually came back. Like, this is the setup that has formed right here. So it makes enough much more sense right here, rather than like a V-shaped structure which we were discussing previously. So, and similarly you can see right here that it's the same thing, guys. Like, yens are taking control right now, and Australian dollar is getting on the downside. But there is on the other thing you need to actually remember, that this could be a head and shoulder right here as well. So let's see how the things react, because based on the current understanding, that we can see that there is enough of a weakness around here. There's a lot of weakness like that. So most probably, like, we would be thinking again according to the trend, right? So we can think out of the trend. And similarly, Australian dollar CHF, again a wonderful opportunity. You can see that prices try to push on the upper side, failed, break of structure around here, prices went down, pull back, low hanging fruit, and double. So this is the move that it gave us, like a twice a trade around here, one time around there and one time around there. But it's fine, it's not important. I didn't even like take it. So I don't even. So see, the idea is that you can't look at everything, but we're gonna plan like that by analyzing everything. So we can see that New Zealand Kiwis are a bit weak, but not like Australian dollar. So Australian dollar is weakest right now. So AUD is weak. Most weak is Australian dollar. So Australian dollar is weak. So you can plan accordingly with that. This is what I am trying to. That's why I'm repeating a lot that Australian dollar is weak. You need to understand that. And similarly, we can see that this was the trade actually I took yesterday, and what ended up happening, the trade idea was simple. You can see that prices were pushing on the upper side, prices came back, pulled back exactly into this resistance right here, and you can see that prices gave me a good momentum on the upper side. So what ended up happening, that right in the morning I placed my stop loss right here. So with this type of candle that was forming, although I was taking my partials around here, my first partial was around there, my other partial was around here, and prices came back, and the way they were coming back, my stop loss of course got triggered, and that order was executed like that. And NZDJPY, so here it shows that the New Zealand Kiwi got really strong, and Yens took over, pushing the prices up, and we can clearly see that there has been a break like that, but prices are coming back down. We might not see a reaction like fully back down there. I just like literally don't know that we might see, because we analyzed that in yens that it is forming a good structure, but actually we need to actually see in the correlation aspect right now. So we might see that yens can get stronger. So secondly, if you see it in another formation, let me show you guys. Consider this as a trend line right now. So you see, or even consider it as a moving average right now. So you see right here, prices are continuously rejecting around here, so there is a good likelihood that prices can go on the downside. But really important to actually uh, understand where your stop loss would be, because when you are dealing with the yen pairs, your losses, the pip size are quite smaller, so be aware of that. And again, great prices came back down there, and this is NZD-CHF which we are dealing with, and Swiss got quite weak. All of the sudden Swiss got weak, and I was like, I just literally like researched that uh, quite a few times, but I couldn't even figure out that why Swiss got really weak. And what ended up happening, guys, that again Swiss started getting stronger. That's why we saw this kind of push on the downside. Really an amazing move. And this was the trade that was taken yesterday by me, and I kind of like entered around here with this type of pattern which I was telling you that it failed to break on the top right here, gave us a move on the downside. But what ended up happening, like most of around about like here, I closed around about like my 70% of my position, my stop loss was at break even, and later on it got triggered. So looks quite clean right now, but there's a lot that need to be done in this case right now. I have like steady, but uh, so simply CAD CHF has been like in a downtrend, as well as we know that CAD is the weakest one right now. So in that case, Australian dollar is the weakest, and then CAD is also weakest. So either you can look into the combination of two weakest, or one strongest and other weakest. So if of course you are looking into weakest pairs like uh, CAD and Australian dollar, you might find a range or something like that. So I I guess, guys, this is the last pair right here. So what we were discussing, that when specifically Swiss got weak, we just saw this type of move happening. Although there has been like enough of a liquidity that is built around this structure, and right now, guys, as these both pair are strong, Swiss is also strong, yen is also strong, we might not see even a big move, and we might see a range like that in the continuation. So be aware of that. So it's over, guys. Like, we have discussed everything around about all pairs which I look at, and these are all majors and minors right here. So take care, guys.